panners, welcome back. I have kind of a two-part video for you today. The first part will be my update for Pan That Palette, which I'm doing 2 palettes this year, and then the second part will be kind of a life update. So if you want to jump out before that part, if you're just not interested or whatever, I'm going to do the Pan That Palette first, and then if you're interested in the rest, stick around. So the first palette that I'm doing this year is the Too Faced Matte Eye palette, and I did start off the year with some pan in this palette already. This was really the palette that got me back into makeup, and it was really the first high-end palette that I purchased for myself. And I remember when I purchased it thinking, oh my gosh, I'm spending $35 on an eyeshadow palette. And if you watched my eyeshadow palette collection video, you'll notice that I have since gotten over that. But I have made quite a bit of progress since the last update. So here is where I am now, and here is where I was last month. So I completely finished off Fresh Linen. That is gone, and I did kind of have to, in the corners, I ended up taking my tweezers and kind of chipping away at the corners to really get in there, and then kind of dipping into that loose powder to use it. So that's how I really got into the corners. I've never really repressed a shadow, and I'm kind of hesitant to try it. So that worked really well for Vintage Violet and for Fresh Linen. So I think that that is what I will keep on doing. I have greatly expanded the pan in Midnight. And in fact, I'm hoping that it's possible that I might hit side pan on this side over the next month. So with Fresh Linen gone, I have transitioned to using Velveteen Bunny as my all-over shade to set my powder, and then kind of as my brow highlight. I have been using Vintage Violet and Midnight or London Fog. I kind of tried to focus on those a little bit more over the last month. I've really been using Vintage Violet and Pebbles, which is this one right here, as my transition shades. I've been using Pebbles as a transition shade when I'm doing kind of smokier looks like I am right now, or if I'm focusing on something that's a little bit darker. And then I've been using, or I guess that's Pebbles, and this is Chinchilla. I can't even read today. And then Chinchilla I've been using just as a transition shade when I'm doing something a little bit lighter, or something a little bit more natural. Coffee Bean, which is this dark brown, I've pretty much been using exclusively as a brow product. That's what I've been doing my eyebrows with. I did, let's see, I don't know if you can see it, but I did hit side pan up here on the top. So I'm just continuing to work on that. Tufted Suede has really been the toughest color for me to figure out a way to use, because it's really too dark to, and you can really just kind of blends in with my skin. But on my eyes, it's really too dark to use as an overall powder to set my eyes. It's a little too dark, but it's a little too light to use as a transition shade. So I think what I'm going to try with it for the next month is I'm going to try using it as my contour for my nose, and maybe try as a contour on my cheeks. I am getting ready to get into, of course it's been monsoon season around here, but we are getting ready to get into the summer months where I'll be outside more, and I will be getting more color to my skin. But right now it is fairly light. It's really pretty much the lightest that it gets throughout the year. So I'm going to give that a try. If you have any suggestions for using Tufted Suede, please leave them in the comments down below, because I think that that is the one I'm going to struggle the most with. But I am really pleased with my progress. I don't think that I will hit any new pan over the next month. I just kind of want to increase the pan in what I have, and really figure out a use for that Tufted Suede. So the second palette that I'm doing is the Urban Decay Ammo palette, and this is where I was last month. And here, that is where I am now. I don't have any new pan, but I am getting very, very close to hitting pan in Sin. That wasn't really my focus this month. I've really been focusing on using sort of this top row, which is all very just sort of pretty new as far as pan goes. So I've really been focusing on those. I will probably get a lot. I did use Grifter quite a few times. I really love this purple. So I think that if I really focus on this one and Grifter and Sin over the next month, I think I can hit pan on those. I did expand the pan a little bit on Polyester Bride, but if you've watched the rest of the series, my goal for this palette is not to pan the entire thing, but just to hit pan in as many shades as possible. So some of these ones on the top are a little bit more densely packed than the ones on the bottom. So that's why the ones on the bottom have been a little bit easier. Plus, the ones on the bottom are a little bit lighter. So sometimes I have to go in with 2 or 3 different layers in order to get the look that I'm going for. While on the top, I really just need the tiniest little bit, especially with Oil Slick. So, and I do have Oil Slick and let's see, what else? I have Oil Slick and Polyester Bride on my eyes right now, along with Midnight and Vintage Violet for this sort of dark, smoky look that I have today. So I'm really pleased with my progress, and I am excited to just keep on trucking with this project. I thought at the beginning of the year that I would be a miserable failure at this, but now we're into May and I'm still growing strong, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. And I've been on mostly a no-buy since last October, and I'm still really going strong with that. I'm picking up, 1 or 2 things here and there, but overall, I've kept my monthly makeup spending to less than $30, and most months it has been 0 because I've been doing so many project pans. So I'm also really proud of that. So that concludes the project pan portion of this video. I will be doing another update in a month. So if you're not interested in life update information, then you can click out now. Otherwise, we can get to the juicy details. So I've been gone a little bit, and there are a couple of different reasons for that. Ryan and I ran away. We took a little mini vacation for not the weekend of my 40th birthday, but the weekend after. There was a big festival going on in New Orleans, which is where we went the weekend of my birthday, which made everything extraordinarily more expensive. So we went the weekend after my birthday, and we had a really wonderful, fantastic time. If you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, actually, I don't know if I've put any of the pictures. I think I have put some of the pictures on Snapchat, but you'll see pictures of us holding baby alligators and at the cemetery. So we had a really fantastic time. We left on a Thursday and drove. It was an 11-hour drive, so we drove straight there, and then we went out Thursday night. We went on Friday, we did a cemetery tour, and, just kind of hung around and wandered and did all that sort of stuff. And then I got a new tattoo, and I don't know how you're going to be able to see that, but it is a rose. And if you watched my channel before, you knew that there was a name there, and that name is now covered up. So then on Saturday, we went on a swamp tour, and that's where we held the baby alligators, and we had, some great food. We went on a 4-in-1 tour that night. It was ghosts, vampires, witches, and voodoo, and it was really great. All our tour guides were really fantastic. We walked like 25,000 steps each day, and by the time that we got back to the hotel, our feet just hurt so bad that we could barely make it back. But we had a fantastic, fantastic time, and then we drove home on Sunday because you can't miss deadline on Monday. But I guess the biggest thing that happened, if you've been paying attention to my video, is we got engaged. So show you there. So this is an antique ring that we found at the antique store here in town, and I absolutely love it. I have not decided yet whether the guy that owns the antique store said that he could make a band to go with it, but that this style of ring usually doesn't have a band. So we really kind of haven't quite decided on that. And no, we don't have a date yet. He is getting ready to leave for his 2 weeks for the Navy Reserves, so we'll probably sit down and try to figure out a date after that. But yeah, I will let you guys know and share some details and kind of wedding planning stuff if you're interested in that. It's not really going to be a gigantic affair. We've both been married before, and we already have 3 snakes and 4 kids and 5 cats. So it's not kind of like a massive deal. But there you have it. So, and then I've been gone. That's not really the reason why I've been gone, but this time of year for my job is very, very busy. It is the end of spring sports. For those of you who haven't, if you're new to my channel or you haven't heard me talk about it before, I write the newspaper for my town, and it is a weekly newspaper, and we're a town of about 9,000, and then I also cover a little small town next to us that's about 2,000 people. So I have 2 school districts to cover and kind of 2 towns to cover, and really I am the only editorial staff. I do have a guy that helps me out with sports, and I do have a girl that helps me out with photography, but they're not on staff. They're just kind of a, I can call on them if I really need them type of basis. So we have soccer and tennis and track and golf and I'm missing something. Baseball. All of those sports are kind of wrapping up right now, and we're heading into playoff season. And so that makes my job very, very busy because there's a game like every 5 minutes. And no, I don't go to them all. A lot of them I call the coaches and get information, but it still makes things very busy. Of course, the end of the school year also means graduations and award ceremonies and kindergarten graduation, and there's just a whole lot going on. Plus, we've been planning, for Ryan to be gone for 2 weeks right here at the end of the school year and getting ready to plan for summer. My oldest is turning 12 on Thursday. We have a band concert. Ryan's birthday is today. Actually, I filmed this yesterday. But there's just a whole lot going on right now. So with that said, for the month of May, I have decided that since I was feeling a little overwhelmed and a little like I had taken on too much, because like I said, we have 3 snakes and 4 kids and 5 cats and a cat on the porch. So plus, I have a full-time job that has really crazy hours, and so for May, I decided I'm going to cut back to 2 videos a week. Now, there may be a couple of times where I just, have something to say, have something to share with you, and I might throw up an extra video. But the schedule of every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I feel like is just too much for me right at this particular point in my life. So I'm going to cut back to 2 videos a week. For May, I don't know what's going to happen for the summer months. I may keep it at 2 videos a week. I'm going to kind of see how it goes this month. I know that there are quite a few of you who look forward to my videos 3 times a week, and I apologize, but I have to do really what works for me. So 2 videos a week it is. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell since the schedule is changing. That way you get alerts when I do post new videos, and that way if I post something extra on a day where you're not expecting it, that you don't miss that either. So anyway, I missed you guys. I know, with talking to you guys that you're totally going to understand my decision for this. So anyway, I will see you on Thursday for my top makeup drawer. Everything that I have on my face is in that drawer. So if you want to see the makeup that I am focusing on for this month, don't forget to check out Thursday's video. So I will see you then. Bye.